Hey, what's going on, guys? I know I said I don't usually like making videos when I'm driving. Not because it's hard to drive and make videos, just because I like to be able to look you guys in the eye and, just be a little more interactive. The reason why I am is because, one, this is on my mind, and I'm obviously not home. I'm obviously driving. As you can see from behind me, I'm full with tires right now. So I have a pretty long way to drive, so I figured since I got a long way to go, might as well do something to keep me up. I got about a 2-hour drive. But what I just wanted to talk about here was kind of a video that has to, it goes hand in hand with that Pride video that I just made. I didn't upload that yet, so that actually might be uploaded at the same exact time. But yeah, it goes hand in hand with that Pride video, and it kind of helps us both out on both ends. So what I want to say basically is, I'm finding that a lot of people, the problem that they have with the existence of God is not necessarily the fact that they don't believe in a creator. Their beliefs on what the Bible, how the Bible depicts God, is what's changing their beliefs on whether a creator is there. Meaning that, especially the ones who claim to, be Christian at one point. The reason why I say that is because I'm finding, and I've asked a few people this question purposely to see what their response would be. I would see what would change people to think that there is not a God. I'm not poking at homosexuals, but a lot of times I go to ask a homosexual, and they'll say the reason why, and I'll say, when you stopped believing in God, was it something that you didn't agree with? Did something happen? And they might, and a lot of times they'll say something did happen. Keep that for, okay, that's going on. So a lot of times they'll say something did happen, and so they'll meaning that they feel like the church hates gay people, which the church does not, or shouldn't hate gay people. If it does, then there's a problem with that church. But they'll think the church hates gay people, and that's why they now don't. They now think, they're like, okay, well, God doesn't exist. Okay, so what really happened behind the scenes that you're not telling us is that in reality now you formulated your belief that God doesn't exist because he's not the God that conforms to your reality. If there was a God, if there was a creator, and I challenge you to really ask yourself if this is the case. If there was a creator that created the universe, created us, but he conforms exactly how you want to live, I have a feeling that you would not mind believing in him if he conformed exactly how you want to live. But because he doesn't, now you go, I don't believe. So I wanted to set the ground with that basis for this. When it comes to, and like I said, this will help with my humility too. When it comes to whether or not the God of the Bible is what you believe to be moral or not, that's something you don't necessarily, you can talk to an apologist about, because I'm better at apologetics than I am at preaching what's in, the concept of everything that happens in the Bible. And preachers, I'm not taking anything away from saying they're not good at apologetics, but preaching is what they're gifted at. They're gifted at telling you, what the Bible says and how, and they're gifted at interpreting the Bible. No, it's not a self-interpretation. I'm saying they're gifted at taking something and really honing in on that verse. Now, if you don't agree with it, then yeah, you just, if it sounds weird, you don't just take, obviously not all preachers know everything. So you don't just take it at face value and go, well, this preacher said this, so it must be it. No, do more, go further into that if there's something you don't agree with that. But what I'm getting at is, you want to, a part of your research is still going to those preachers too. I kind of came to this thought when I was just listening to Tony Evans, one of my favorite preachers. And what Tony Evans was saying, I think the sermon was called "Where is God when you're suffering?" And when he broke it down, that made more sense for me. Because trust me, I still do have those questions, even as a believer. Like, well God, why allow this? Where were you when this happened? So I still have those questions. That's when you go to somebody who's really good at theology and eschatology and see what they have to say. If something that they said doesn't make sense, because there's going to be a lot of pastors and preachers out there that don't make sense, you do more research, but your research does still involve talking to them. Because even when you research things about science, I'm sure you probably talked to a science teacher at one point, or a biologist, or a chemist or something. So words and books, they're good, your research is good, but people still need to be involved. So I would still say go to a preacher. Now, the reason why this goes hand in hand with pride is because when you don't, it's still an issue of pride. The reason why you don't want to do it is because in your mind, you're like, well, he's still a Christian. I have a problem with Christians, so I'm not going to go talk to this guy because he's a Christian. Well, you can't really do that. Even if you don't agree with him, you have to move on to the next. If you want to cut him off, you have to admit that's an issue of pride. That's a kind of research that you don't want to do because you're being biased to yours. So even when if there's an issue of the God in the Bible and the morality, go to a preacher. I'll refer. I know some good preachers to go to. If you're around my area, I have a church that I go to. I'll put in the description what that church is. But chances are you're not. Obviously this YouTube video is going out to the world, so chances are you're not. If not, there's a lot off the bat. I can name a few. There's Tony Evans, Bodie Bach, Todd Friel, David Wilkerson. So there's preachers out there. I would say just go to them. That's part of your research to do. To see if this God thing is real. Now, like I said, when it comes to is the creator real, that's more so apologetics. We'll obviously still talk about the Bible, but that's more so strictly apologetics. But when it comes to the morality of God and why God this and why God did that and why God allows this, why he allows that, it's when you go to a preacher and you want to see it. That's a part of research. It's pride if you don't want to do it. Now, like I said, this video isn't necessarily to give you more proof that God is real. This video is to tell you, if you really want to seek out truth and you really don't think you have pride and you really think you are humble and you really think you are humbly searching for the truth, this is one way to do it. Search for the truth. Don't research your stuff and say, okay, this is right, this is right, this is right, that's it. No, nothing else could be right. Do everything. Research your stuff, which I'm sure you already did. Then go to the other one and see, okay, what's the validity in this? And like I said, not for nothing, this is a religion that lasted for 2,000 years from a book that was written by over 40 authors over a 1,500-year period. There's something to it. And when you listen to these preachers, keep an open mind. Don't look for flaws. Keep an ear open for flaws, because you don't want to be blindly led, but don't listen to it expecting him to say something wrong. Listen to it, listening for the truth, being so attentive to the truth that you could hear when there's not truth in there, but be attentive toward that truth. Keep an open mind. I keep an open mind when I'm researching science. There's stuff I don't know. There's at one point I was so arrogant about the existence of God, and that I did not want to be wrong. I didn't want to hear anything about. I just got slowing down. I don't know. I didn't want to hear anything about anything science had to say. Wow, it was a big traffic jam. That's funny. So yeah, I didn't want to hear anything about what science had to say. And one of those things were, for example, the theory about evolution. You know, technically, evolution does not technically say we came from monkeys. It says we came from a common ancestor. I still have my thoughts about that, but that's just one thing. I didn't want to keep an open mind to that. I was like, oh, this is bull. You know, monkey, common ancestor, whatever. But that's not keeping an open mind. So you got to keep an open mind to it. And you got to entertain the fact that you could be wrong. But yeah, so this is basically just, you know, kind of a spin-off to that Pride video I made. So yeah, like I said, I wish I could stare at you guys, you know, face to face, which right now I can because we're in a traffic jam. It's pretty bad onto it. It sucks because I'm on a very long road on my way out to Jersey. So no telling how long this could be. But yeah, so yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say in this video. You guys know I talk a lot, so I have more videos to put up. I hope you guys like talkers. I probably have long videos. But this is actually rather short. But yeah, so keep an open mind. Research includes speaking to pastors, alright? I'll probably make another video this afternoon. I think somebody asked me a question on one of my videos, so I think I have a question to answer. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put up a video this afternoon. So I'll see you guys then, and God bless. Take care.